Hi everybody, welcome to today's best practices session on unstructured data migration featuring Komprise Field CTO Benjamin Henry. Today we're going to be talking about how do I minimize downtime. Super important topic. Benjamin, this is all about ensuring data and applications are available as quickly as possible. So what are some of the what's some of your guidance here?
Yeah, thanks, Darren. This is something that I'm hearing a lot lately is I've got this ultra critical application. I need to move as fast as possible. I can't have a 48-hour cutover window. I need to go right now. All right, so let's talk about that. And it kind of starts with the analytics. Knowing and preparing for your migration is one of the biggest things, and it can be the longest part of the migration itself, is proper planning. But I like to logically group shares with applications, users, groups, so we can minimize their impact as much as possible and just do one cutover event for them so they only have one weekend, one window where they're experiencing an outage. Knowing the topology. One of the features about working with Komprise is we have this application called ACE, Assessment of Customer Environment. This is where we work with you to help you understand what challenges you might face during a migration or even before the migration. But if it's during, you can quickly run ACE. You can understand what's in the topology, what might be causing a bottleneck. More often than not, we do discover that we have either a misadvertised network route or there's a security appliance, a router, something in the topology that's creating a bottleneck. And there's ways to work with those appliances, those bottlenecks, and sometimes even go around them. Knowing the limitations of the technology you're working with. Well, let's talk about this. There's some technologies that have issues with densities of file system folders, structures. There's other ones that just have issues with the sheer number of files or folders. So you want to know and understand what are the limitations of the storage appliances you're working with up front. So again, you can kind of plan around those. And then we have the advanced features of Komprise. Hyper transfer for WAN-based migrations absolutely cuts down on the time to transfer data across a WAN. Elastic data migrations, the ability to scale out and distribute the workload across multiple resources. Warm cutover, which I'm going to walk through a quick demo on how to set one of these up. But a warm cutover is almost a near zero downtime. And what do I mean by that? A warm cutover is creating an outage window as short as it takes you to direct the users or applications from the source share to the destination share. And that's it. And communication, I can't stress this one enough either, is communicate early and often with stakeholders, with everyone involved, so they know what's going on and they know when their data is available to them. So with that, Darren, let me jump in here and I'm going to set up a migration that's going to be configured for our warm cutover. So here I'm at our migration screen. I'm going to add a migration. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to choose my source. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to choose all the defaults for this. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose my destination. Again, choosing all the defaults. But down here, I have this advanced option called Keep Latest Version. So I'm going to choose that. And if you have any questions as you're setting this up about what each one of these does, there's a link here on the side that will take you to the article to explain this in detail, but I'll kind of give you a real quick overview of Keep Latest Version and where it's a great fit. So Keep Latest Version is great for the media industry, healthcare, and several others where you have an application that has to continually write data. A great example to talk about today would be an electronic charting system for the healthcare, where it doesn't go back and modify files, but it has to continuously write files. And every time it goes back and references an old chart, it reads the old chart, and then it writes a new chart, writes a new chart, writes a new chart. That's a great example of Keep Latest Version, because in this situation, you can run your final iteration after you've released the application to the end users, to the applications, to continue to write data so that you can run that last iteration and find any of the changes. If there happens to be a conflict where something has been modified on the destination, but also the source, then we do report that conflict to you so you can choose what you want to do with that file or folder that has that conflict. And from here, when you click next, all migration screens are exactly the same. So with that, Darren, real quick overview of how you can minimize your downtime.
All right, thanks, Benjamin. Great overview, great discussion, and we look forward to our next session. Again, if you want to learn more about Komprise Elastic Data Migration, you can visit komprise.com/migration. Thank you.